That's it. You want me to say something? Kia ora, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're quite intimidating, Sam. Sorry guys, somebody's mic's moved a little bit. Who's that? But this mic is moving. Is it alright? It slid down a bit, mate, down here, through here. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's alright, mate, I'm not worried about it. It's pretty good there, but it's just his mic's moving, I don't want to touch it, it's slipping down this one here, he's going to get some tape. It just started slipping downhill, mate.
Do you want to do a sound check? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to acknowledge Peter Dunn's announcement of his retirement today. He called me earlier this morning to say that he decided not to contest the Oharu seat. Peter has been an important part of strong and stable government over the last 9 years. We haven't always agreed, but he's always committed his support to confidence and supply so that the government can execute the very successful program that's made this into one of the better performing economies in the developed world. Looking ahead from here, it's clearer with these developments and those that have occurred among the opposition parties that the election is a drag race between those who support the New Zealand going in the right direction and building on it, and the opposition parties who represent a pretty ill-defined alternative. So in that sense, the task for National hasn't changed. We've been focusing on raising our party vote. There'll now be a few more voters out there who understand that if they want to support the current direction and the success for New Zealand, then they'll be more likely to vote for National than for the other smaller parties, if that was their intention.
The Council has already sent out a letter saying not to vote for him. Is it starting to look like a bit of a circus on the right now, if he's now going to have to put a letter out saying, please do vote for me?
Well, it'll be a lot simpler than two big parties having to change all their billboards. It's one letter and one electorate. So no, not a circus. I mean, Peter Dunn's made an unexpected decision. Brett Hudson is a well-known candidate, well-known MP there, and he will be fighting hard to win that seat, because we now have the opportunity to win a seat that has consistently given its party vote to National.
You don't need it though, do you? I mean, the issue here is that Peter Dunn provided you an extra seat and therefore made it easier for you to form a majority without New Zealand First, so you've lost a key element. That must be very disappointing.
Well, voters just change their behaviour. I mean, just as we've seen on the left, we have seen a lot of changes. Voters respond to what they think are going to maximise the chances of their party winning. And I think you'll see the same thing here. So people who may have been drifting off from National to New Zealand First, or some of them drifting off to Labour because of the profile in the media, they'll start thinking, right, if it's a bit harder for National and I want to support New Zealand going in the right direction, then I'll better vote for them.
So you're not worried about losing a strategic partner? I mean, you don't have a lot of friends left on the right.
Well, we have a lot of voters though, and that's what makes a lot of difference. And on the left, the parties who are meant to be partners seem to be cannibalising each other.
When you talk about opposition parties, does that continue to include New Zealand First, or do you now have to concede that inevitably they're going to be part of any government you might try and form?
No, we don't concede that. We're working hard to lift our party vote because we would want to be able to form a strong government after September the 23rd, and if we can successfully lift our vote, then that is a real possibility.
Minister Dunn said that he only noticed the mood for change in his electorate once Jacinda Ardern stepped in as leader. Does that concern you that he can see that?
Not particularly. I mean, we've always approached this election as a tough election to win, one where we have to go out and earn the support. It's been the case 3 or 4 weeks ago that if you added up the votes of the other parties, they could potentially change the government. So in that sense, our task hasn't changed. There'll be particular features of Peter's long tenure as an MP in his area. I mean, he's been in Parliament since the early 80s, I think.
33 years.
Yeah, 33 years. I mean, he's the longest serving MP by quite some years. So that maybe picked up a mood. I was out with him at a function just last weekend, very successful function in his electorate, and he seemed to have broad support, but he's fought a lot of elections.
Do you really think that Brett Hudson can beat Greg O'Connor, looking at current polling? I mean, Greg O'Connor was above Peter Dunn.
Well, even on the poll that's being published, if you added Peter Dunn's votes and Brett Hudson's vote, they'd get there.
We've got time for one more question, guys.
Yeah, I've got
Did you or anyone else in National give him any advice or direction about this decision?
No, we didn't. No. I mean, we've been working with him, on a day-to-day basis, and he's made his own decision about it. We certainly didn't give him advice.
Had you been providing a poll?
No, we haven't seen recent polls from that seat, so he won't have. Well, he may have his own, but he certainly hasn't had any from us.
Would you prefer him to have made the decision earlier so you didn't have to send out letters?
Well, you don't get these choices, do you? But at least we don't have to change every billboard in the country, as both the Greens and Labor have set out to do and haven't yet managed.
Thank you, guys.
We can change the letter.
When you say you didn't provide him any advice on his decision, did you ask him to stay?
Look, he makes his own decision. He didn't raise it with us. He's decided to step down, and that's a matter for him. But look, that decision's been made now. Our candidate will be up and running. He'll be well organised, and we welcome the campaign over the next 4 or 5 weeks in this, I think, a pretty well-defined race. New Zealand's doing well, going in the right direction, and people have the choice of voting to build on that or some pretty ill-defined alternative. And in that context, this is just one small change in the environment.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I've just got to go and see the President.